Hey, good morning, everyone. Earthy Wise Woman here. I hope you guys are having a blessed day and a productive one, healthy one. Um, we have, whenever I come on here, we have always spoken about, magical things. And that's a good thing. I like to talk about herbs and I love to do readings, crystal ball readings, tarot card readings. But someone asked me a question, and it was a good question. It was a good question. It's one I had never been asked before, but it's one that I feel that I need to address. The question was, do or can we hex ourselves? Do we hex ourselves? And can we hex ourselves? And immediately my answer was, hmm. But after a little, not even much, the answer is yes. We can and do hex ourselves. And I meditated on this question a lot. I did. I mean, because it's not one of those easy yes or no answers, because there's more to it than that. Because even if the answer is yes, the answer is how, and that's the next leap. Well, how do we hex ourselves? Why do we hex ourselves? How and why? hmm So, after much deliberation, I thought about how to answer this, and it brought up a situation that happened to me about 8 years ago. So, I'm going to tell you this story. And before I get started, please like and subscribe to my channel. Please, down there, like and subscribe. And come to my Etsy store to visit me, Earthy Wise Woman. The link will be down there in the description as well. Let me get on with my story. Now, as I was saying, about 8 years ago, I met a young lady. Now, I'm going to change all the names for privacy and such. So let me just say her name was Sophia. Beautiful girl. She was a college student, and she was working part time. Real go getter, real go getter. Beautiful personality, wonderful person. Anyway, I got a phone call mm, one weekend, and I was literally out about in town. Now, because I had had a an expo show the day before, I had my tarot cards with me in my protective pouch. And my sister in the craft, and really she's just my sister as far as I'm concerned, she called me and asked me to do a reading for a friend of ours. Well, she's not my friend. Anyway, a friend. Her daughter needed a reading. Her daughter was Sophia. And so I agreed to it. So, right there in the parking lot where I was parked, I went ahead and I made a phone call and I called Sophia and I gave her a reading. Now, she asked a question whether a particular person she was interested in was thinking the same way about her. Did this man like her? Was he thinking about her? And I did the reading, and the answer was he didn't even know she existed. He had no idea, didn't have didn't have no feelings for her at all. And remember, this is a phone call reading. And on the over the phone, I could hear she was dejected and she was sad. And I'm like, hey, it's gonna be okay. You will get through this. I don't see him as being a bad guy. You might meet him in the future where he will pay attention to you, but right now in this particular circumstance, he does not have any feelings for you one way or the other. Very indifferent. Now, understand, I did not know the whole ramifications of what this relationship was about. I had no idea. And remember, I couldn't see her face because this was over the phone. I could hear and I could feel her pain. So that I really did address. Now, she hung up on the phone with me, and um, the the following morning, they found her in her closet. She had hung herself. She self-deleted herself, and I was shocked. I was mortified, and I was hurt. I'm still. That still affects me because I often play out what could I have done to have prevented her. I had no idea she was going to do that. Anyway, my sister arranged her funeral, and I I was too broken up. I didn't go. I sent flowers, but it was her mother, Bambi, that I took course with. Her mother, Bambi, was cold and indifferent and just plain just selfish. And I just ooh, this woman. Now, she did not do anything to plan her daughter's funeral. She did not give money, time, energy, or effort. Nothing. Nothing whatsoever. Nothing. After the funeral, which my sister paid for out of her own pocket, there was a we took up a fund for her mother, just money to help with any expenses that may come up. And Bambi took the money and gave it to her son. I took issue with that, as did my sister, as did everyone. Now, there's a backstory to why we took issue. Why would she give the money to her son? Well, the reason we took issue with this was Sophie lived a very hard life. Sophie had been molested by her father, which Bambi knew she had been molested by her father. I did not know this. But Bambi had also been raped and molested by her brother, which Bambi also knew had been done. And yet, she never took issue with her son about what he had done to his sister, never said a word, and never defended um, Sophie. If anything, she defended her son. He could do no wrong. Oh, she must have done something to make him do that to her. Anyway, my sister, as did I, well, for me it was no big deal, but my sister stopped communicating completely with Bambi. But we did keep, every so often she would drop a line to us. So about 2 years after that incident, so we're talking 6 years now, we get a distressing phone call from her. Terrible phone call. Her son, the one that had raped and molested her daughter, had just become a father to identical twin sons, boys. And the boys were born almost all the way healthy, except for one little thing. Both boys were born without testicles. And I thought, well, my first question was, well, were they undescended? Maybe they're just up there and they need to be brought down or something. No, no testicles, none whatsoever. So they were basically born eunuchs. And I had never heard of such a thing. I mean, I've heard of it being removed, but I had never heard of anyone born without them. Now, I'm sure it happens, but I had never heard of it. And I said, well, what, is it, are the, no testicles, no sign of them. And of course, Bambi was in horror. She was crying. Oh, her poor son. This is terrible. Why did this happen? What could have happened? And I was in shock as well. And I decided I wanted to meditate. Why could this happen to someone? How could such a thing happen? And my guides came back to me and they said, yeah, cosmic, it's a cosmic hex. Cosmic justice has been done. And I'm like, cosmic justice has been done. A cosmic hex. Was it karma? And they're like, yes, this was their karma. I said, but the children did nothing. No, the children did nothing. But after realizing one, two, perhaps even three generations of men in that family had raped and molested the women of that they were either related to or are tasked with the responsibility to care for. Because this was Bambi's ex-husband, and they had these two children together. He had also raped and beat on Bambi, the husband, and the son did the same thing to his sister. And I guess, and I'm like, well, what's up with? I mean, but the sons, yes, the sons were born without testicles. I'm like, so what? Why? Because it ended the possibility of it going on another generation. No more boys. The name can't get passed on to anyone else. It ends right there with with the brother, because his sons would never have sons or daughters because they would never produce children. And I thought, wow, wow. And that, Bambi went around saying, somebody hexed my family. No, no one hexed them but themselves. They did. Now, did Bambi have something to do with it? Sure. She never addressed her son about what he had done to his sister. She never protected her daughter from being molested or raped by her brother or her father. She didn't do anything to protect her daughter. The brother never addressed what he had done to his sister, never sought help, never apologized, never made amends. Cosmic justice. Cosmic hex. I say that story to you to tell you this. Guys, before you start looking into somebody hex me, I got a hex put on me. I want you to think about what you may have done, because many times we go through our days and we do things that are not so admirable to other people. And we don't even think about our actions. Or when we do think about them, in some cases we justify why it was all right to do that. Excuse me. And sometimes, believe me when I say, it is okay. Sometimes people do things to us that justifies us doing things back to them. But let's take this thing in a logical sense. When you decide to do things like that and not expect things to be happening to you, that's a naive, because there will be karma. Okay? So when you go around harming or hurting others and thinking no harm or hurt will come to you, you're wrong. Something will come to you. Eventually, it will. Now, I'm saying all that to say this: we have choices. some of us can say, well, I had no choice. I had to do that. No, you always have a choice. Now, it may not be the most optimum choice. It may not be the choice you want to take, but it is a choice. You know, I've told people, some people, say that, I mean, this is Bambi's excuse was, well, my son had no choice. His father made him do that to Sophie. He made him. He made him do that. That young man could have gone into that room with his sister and not laid a hand on her. Came out of that room and told his dad, yeah, dad, I did it. And didn't do a darn thing. He had a choice. He always had a choice. He could have said, no, dad, I will not touch my sister. Yeah, he may have got his butt whipped, but he had a choice. He always had a choice. So I'm saying all that to say this, guys, you always have a choice. You can choose to do harmful, or you can choose to pull your punch and not. But before you start saying, did somebody hex me? Ask yourself, what did I do? What could I have done? Think about it to have brought some of this on myself. Now, sometimes, like I tell people, have I, people that, well, haven't you ever hexed anybody? Yes, I have. I'm not going to sit here and be a hypocrite. Yes, I have. Well, did things happen to you that you didn't like? Yeah, they did. But I've got to tell you, it wasn't as bad as, say, it would have been if I'd not taken responsibility. And what I mean by, did something happen? Yeah, something happened. So what did I have to do? I had to take responsibility for my actions. I chose to do this, and this is the outcome. Okay. But I knew there would be an outcome before I chose to hex. So what I'm trying to say is be responsible with your choices. You know, before you think that somebody hexed you, think about what you may have done to make the universe come back at you like that. Did you harm somebody? Because anytime you do anything that is unfair, unjust, not right, improper, whatever, especially to someone who's innocent, it will come back to bite you. And not just someone, something. I mean, you kick a dog, and you're like, yeah, well, whatever. And you go home and find your cat dead, and you're like, oh my God, somebody hexed me. Yeah, but you had an opportunity. Why did you kick the dog? Why did you do that? Dog didn't do nothing to you. Why'd you do that? You know, we need to realize for every action, there is an equal reaction to it. So if you think you're going to do something and not have something come back on you, you're wrong. And two wrongs don't make a right. So if somebody did hex you and you go back and hex them and you're surprised that they hexed you back, come on, guys. How the best way to avoid having somebody hex you, or more importantly, the best way to make sure that a hex does not stick to the point where it could really harm you, live a good life, live a fair life. And before you hex, and somebody has done something, my suggestion, instead of hexing them back, do a spell to deflect the hex, to send the hex, the negative energy, right back to them. Because believe me when I tell you, when you use magic like that, reflecting, sending the hex back to where it came from, it's way worse than anything you could have done to them. Because the energy that they sent out comes right back to them. And it is usually, think about it, when a bullet goes up, it goes up quick. But when it comes down even faster. Reverberating a hex is the same way. The energy they send out is bad. The energy that comes back is far worse, 3 times worse. And that's not just science. That is magic. And it comes back the same way, harder than it went out. So that's why I tell you guys, whatever happens in the dark, it does come to the light eventually. So before you take it upon yourself to hurt or harm or hex, ask yourself first, is it worth it? Number two, did this person really did hex me? Number three, did I deserve it? And if you can answer that in a way that you know you didn't deserve it, before you hex, I would send the hex back. If you know for sure they hex them, send it back. But if they're just out to eat you up and fuck you up and hurt you and harm you, let them know, hey man, stop it. Don't hurt me. Don't do this to me. Leave me alone. And then, if they continue to do it, knock their asses flat. I have no problems with that because you warned them, because you told them, and then you asked them to stop it, and they didn't. Then you do what you got to do. Believe me when I say if you do want to revert the karma a little bit, be honest. That is the only way. Tell them, hey, stop doing this to me. If you keep on doing this, I'm going to do something to you. And if they just kind of give you the mad finger and say, well, I'm going to do what I want to do, okay, you warned them. Do what you got to do. So I hope all of you heard this from the beginning to the end, because it is the most unbalanced thing in the world to have somebody slap you in the face and you present them with roses. That ain't gonna work. They slap you, slap them back. Let them know you're gonna slap them back. It's only fair, but slap them back, because in that one way, that's where the karma actually does kind of is even, because you're then you become the expender of the karma. It's like, I told you not to hit me. You did. I hit you back. I told you I would. And if you really want to stop a person from ever harming you, tell them. Because for some reason, when a person knows you're willing to do that to them, they're less likely to do it to you. Something to consider. I haven't had anybody ever put a hex on me again. But I did let them know, if you mess with me, be prepared to take the karma of what you're going to do. Because it's not going to be karma. It's going to be me doing it to you. But I will tell you first. And I'll let you know first. And in that way, I keep my peace. And I keep my spirituality. I don't know if there's such a way of keeping your spirituality, but I keep my ethics. Because I will not harm anybody who has not harmed me. And in some cases, there are times when I sit back and allow, because I can see what's about to happen. It's like, yeah, I could do something, but I can see what's about to happen. I'll pull my punch and let the universe do it for me. Sometimes it's so much more easier. On that note, this is Earthy Wise Woman. This is the longest video I've ever made. You guys have a healthy day. And once again, please like and subscribe my videos. Bye-bye.